Hello Scrapper Names fans, welcome back to a long overdue process video. I've got this 12 by 12 Kraft Plus challenge for the month of December and I'm squeezing it in. It is the last day, second last day of December actually, but this video has been sitting here waiting to be edited and voiceovered for you to come up on my channel. So as the name of the challenge blog pretty much says, it is a Kraft cardstock background. So that brown paper, if you're not familiar with it, is the Kraft cardstock. So it's not a material I use very much, or if at all really. So I'm not great with it, but I actually really like how this layout turned out. So I'm going with some mixed media this time, and I wasn't sure what I was going to use. Now, as you saw at the beginning, it was a sketch challenge. There was a bit of colour involved as well, so a bit like a mood board. And I went with the pale blue and pink kind of colour they had there. So I wasn't sure if I was going to use the embellishment, the paste, which I've got here. And I've used some Distress Oxide, which didn't quite turn out very well on the Kraft background. So I end up just sticking with the Nouveau paste here, which has dried. I can't remember what it actually is. I'm pretty certain it was a lot better than this when I opened it originally. But I really struggled with it. It still worked to some degree, but it's quite dried and I really had to smush it through my star stencil here. So on the sketch there's lots of stars, so instead of having big embellishment type stars on there, I've actually used a star stencil to really cover that sketch element here. So as you can see, I really struggle, but I actually really like the Nouveau paste. It normally, from memory, was really quite smooth to use, but as a texture paste. But as I said, I've had it for a little while. I've probably not covered it up very well, and yeah. But anyway, it's all good. It still worked. I just rolled with it really, and just got the layout done. Because I do like how it comes out at the end. So yeah, I went with the pink and the blue. When you use Kraft cardstock, I find things tend to always look that little bit darker. Hence why the Distress Oxide ink, when I tried to sponge it through the stencil, it really didn't look very good, because the colours are a bit pale and it just really didn't look good. So I cut it out and didn't bother. I covered it up anyway. So here I am super speeding through this Christmas 6x6 paper pad. I'm not sure who it's by. I want to say Photoplay, but I can't remember off the top of my head. So I just sort of went through and looked for some that had the colours through it, but also then had some neutral tones like the black and white, the greys, those sorts of things as well. They're going to form the basis of that squares in the background of the sketch as well, which you'll see me in a minute. I cut out some squares in the background. I tried to have a look through. I have a big, and that's what's in the corner here, a Kaiser Kraft Christmas 12 by 12 paper pad, but none of them really took my fancy, so I sort of skipped over it. So just checking everything's dry. See, you can see a little bit there where I've tried to use the stencil with some oxide ink there on the left, and it just doesn't look very good at all. Flicking through some Kaiser Kraft pocket page cards. I think I may use some for layering. Maybe. I'm not sure. Can't remember now. It's a little while back now. It's a couple of weeks old, this layout. I wasn't going to layer the photos, but when I popped them on the Kraft background with the paper, it didn't look right. They needed something, a border around them, just to add a little bit of pop behind them as well. So I just add some thin borders just to give them their own definition. they're going to have all those squares, I know, but they just needed something, I thought. I couldn't decide what. I brought in some, and I still keep them there, some doilies, some coloured doilies as well, but it just wasn't enough. So I added some backing, some I can't talk, some paper layering as well, just as I said, to give that bordering some definition to each of the photos themselves. I loved this red paper. I thought it was so funky. It's really bright, really cheery. So I hope everyone had a really good Christmas. We had a fairly quiet one, actually. We went to my sister's on Boxing Day, which is in Sydney. So that was really nice, actually. Christmas Day itself was fairly quiet. But yeah, apart from being hot and really smoky, so anyone who are in the fire affected areas, my thoughts are with you. I hope you're safe. Sure your Christmas was that extra bit stressful. But otherwise, everyone, I hope that you've had a good Christmas and Santa was good to you and your families. You've had some loving times, some fun times with them. And for those of us who are crafty, you're getting some crafty time in. I've sat in my craft room this morning from early with my planner, got my planning gal happening, planned out my week for some crafty fun as well as organising, and finally tidied up my space and feeling a bit back into the swing of things. So I've had no crafty time over the last week and a bit, probably 2 good weeks of no crafting time whatsoever. Looking at my space, feeling a bit I think everyone's probably a bit the same in regards to the rush of Christmas. We've had kids' birthdays and things like that. But yes, so I have another week to go back till I go back to work. So yes, going to hopefully make the most of it. But yeah, all good. So here I am. What I'm doing is cutting some 3 by 3 inch squares to do the back of the sketch there. So you can see those square patterns in the sketch itself, and that's what I've done there. That's what I'm making out of those. Now I don't actually use all of those, so there's so much left over. I've just put it in my my Christmas kit. I may use it to finish off my December daily, which I'm hoping to finish this week. It's one of my projects. Because hey, who else is up to date with their December daily? God bless you. But I have to say, I'm a lot better off than I think I am most years. So yes, this is the first time ever that I realised to whip out a ruler and really try and make things balanced and straight. And at first I was like, don't be so OCD over it. Then I was like, no, it will annoy me if it is not straight. So I did. I didn't really measure the gap between each of them, just making sure that they are at least in line, because I thought they're going to look stupid if they're not even. And I contemplated whether or not to have one hang off the edge, and then changed my mind and did what I've done here, this pattern of just hanging off the edge, like starting a sort of step down and having the doilies sitting on that edge, just to add a little bit of different design element there, and trying to make a little different pattern with each of the papers a little bit. Why is it when every time I start feeling my voice goes really weird? It's driving me nuts. So I don't add. Alright, so next up is adding my photos, which as you can see I'm adding some craft foam just to add now some dimension. There's lots of, it's all very flat, so I thought, right, now it needs some dimension and a bit of liveliness, or lifeness. It's not even a word. Sorry about my poor English there. just making sure all of them fit. I was not always going to add foam to all three, and then thought it looked a bit odd, so I added foam to all of them just to prop them up. And my embellishments, that was the other thing, my embellishments that I was going to use weren't at all sort of really looking at being that 3D element, so I thought my photos would be. So this is a Christmas pack from also Kraft. It's an older one. Nothing's really a new Christmas collection. I've not brought any new Christmas stuff. I have a lot of Christmas stuff, so I really haven't brought any new collections. So I need to use the Christmas stash that I have because there's a lot of it. So where I think for 2 years I sort of got Christmas kits, being part of a kit club. So I just chose not to this year. As much as things were pretty, I just didn't need to waste the money. So I've added in my embellishments. Now I'm just adding my title where it needs to go, and I just went "Tree is up," using some green foamy glitter thickers from In My Stash. Now, what else am I adding in? Some other little bits and pieces, I think. And I think my layout is just about completed, possibly. I love these doilies. I don't know where they came from, if they were gifted to me or they came in a kit, but they're beautiful. They've got these great colours, like they were a blue and a pinky purpley colour, so just perfect. I accidentally found them actually cleaning out my doily, my little bag of doilies. So I've used the elements of the sketch, like the stars and that, through my texture pastes. I've still got the square like pattern in the background, and the colours as well. So yeah, that's my challenge entry for the Craft Plus challenge. You can always check out the blog as well. I think you enter your challenges through Facebook, but as I said, today's the 30th and then tomorrow's the 31st, so you've only got 2 days to enter the challenge. I'm lucky to have, I've done mine. I did mine, as I said, a couple of weeks ago. I just am a bit delayed in getting it in. Just adding some little dotty patterns around the squares, just giving that sort of faux stitched look. Stitching is not my strength. But yes, so yes, you can check out the Facebook group, which is where I've posted my entry itself, but there's some close-ups of my layout here at the end. I will hopefully have a project life spread for you later in the week, and hopefully a better schedule of videos for the year, a bit more organised while I'm on holidays. But yes, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy. Remember to give me a thumbs up. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments and I will get back to you. But yeah, thank you again for watching. I will see you next time. Thank you again. Bye for now.